Okay, now I've taken the time and I've got the bow pretty well complete. Limbs are straight, tiller's right and everything, and sanded. And if it was a one piece, it would be ready to finish out basically. I haven't done the finer grits, but you know, up to 120, and you can go as far as you want, I suppose. But now it's time to take it apart. A lot of times when you string it, the first time you string it, you'll hear a snap or pop or something, and that's usually the grip separating from the lower part, the shelf on the lower part of the riser. If it does it, it's actually a good thing, because it'll show you that you didn't glue it back into being a one-piece bow again. So now we're going to pull it apart and put it in my vise, and I'll put a little pressure from all angles. You know, a little more if necessary. This one's already popped loose, but I want to see that the fiberglass has broken free from the socket. So I move it around. And this one is the 90-pound bow. It came in at 89 pounds actually. So it popped loose quite easily when I strung it the first time. So this one might actually come apart a little easier than what some of the others were. We still have those two toothpicks inside there that we got to break. So I get it set up in my vise, and my vise is pretty sturdy. And if it's really bad, really tough, sometimes I'll have somebody hold on to the other limb. When I get in the vise and I shake it and move it around and just pull it apart. That one looked pretty darn easy, and they certainly are not all that easy. If you do a good job with the release agent and a good job tapering your socket the way it's supposed to be tapered, or parallel, getting it nice and parallel, it makes it a whole lot easier to take them apart. And make sure you get everything covered, because if you just so much as get the size of a pencil eraser on here that's not covered with the release agent, and you glue it back together, you probably aren't going to get that apart without beating the bow into pieces. So anyway, from here I'll wipe this off and rinse it off with acetone, clean it up, sand it a little bit, very little bit, with 220, and then I'll cut the toothpicks, trim those off right there, and trim the toothpicks off inside the socket with a chisel. And then I'll sand this bottom just to kind of straighten it out a little bit. This probably won't go back together, maybe it will. You can push it back together with the vise. But you want to sand enough away so that there's a little gap when you string it, especially in the back. Now I'll take a little bit more off the back, and what the deal is when you string it, that gap's going to get a little bigger in the front. Nothing to be alarmed about, but it's going to get smaller in the back. And the last thing you want is for that back to touch, because if it touches, then you can get a clicking noise, or actually feel a clicking noise when you shoot it. So we'll trim that down a little bit more, clean everything up, and it'll be good to go. Thank you very much. I hope that helped. And remember, you can find all the stuff that I used in this making this two-piece system on my website. Take care.